Hello everyone, I am Plankera. Today we're going to continue rigging Shalom from Path to Nowhere. Making progress on Hair still. Someday I will be able to escape Hair Hell. And I was taking a look at here this morning and I actually made more progress than I remember making yesterday, so that's nice. It's like... excuse me, little weirdness in my throat there. What was I saying? But yes, there's a surprising amount of stuff that goes into each of these little decisions that I make. So after an hour, I'm generally really tired. It uses a lot more brain than I would expect every time. So I don't always remember what's going on by the end. Because I'm just like, oh man. I want to, like, just flop for, like, 5 years now. Just an overwhelming amount of information to have to process for every little piece of this. More so with this one than some of the other ones I've done, because the level of detail on the art is high. Anyway, when I was looking at this yesterday, just now. Yes, I was talking about yesterday. Anyway, but yes, just now, I was noticing that there's like this little... I don't know, it juts out right here. So I was trying to kinda get that shape to happen over here too. Gonna have to kinda pull it out a little bit there, I think. Just getting all confused in my words, because... well... I'm thinking about too many things at once. I was reading some old role-playing stuff I wrote, like... man, it was almost 10 years ago at this point, and that's making me feel old. But... it's a good time. The memories, man. I was, writing on a superhero forum RP, and my character basically got bullied into becoming the leader of a faction, and I was reading a thread where they made a gold statue of her, and she had no idea how to respond. It was very, very amusing. I had forgotten about that thread until recently, until I came across it while looking through some old posts. So, that's been fun to go through. Sometimes it can be fun to go through and reading the stuff that I was doing a long time ago. It gives me some stuff to think about while doing parts of this, but at the same time, it's like, this already requires so much brain that I don't really have very much room to think about stuff anyway, so what am I even worrying about? I can't help it. Brains like to think, you know? And right now, I'm just noticing that there's a little bit of twitching right around here. So I'm trying to see if I can't get this little corner piece to be shaped a little bit better. Because it's like, I feel like it's mostly in the right place. I'm having a hard time kind of understanding what's wrong with the shape here. Yeah, it's because I'm pointing it down. But if I don't point it down, then shenanigans happen. Which I guess just means I have to drop everything over here? Man. And now it feels like it's still being compressed downward. Okay, I'm actually going to hide this underneath part, and I'm going to focus strictly on the movement of this. And once I get that looking like it's not getting all compressed and stuff, then I'll take a look at reattaching that underneath portion. Sometimes you just gotta take things one step at a time. Because, yeah, I mean, obviously it needs to change a little bit because she's turning her head, but I feel like it just feels like it's squeezing together, and that doesn't look very good. I don't like it. But I don't quite know what's causing that. So I suppose I will just have to try things as usual. When in doubt, try something. Oh, that does seem to have helped a lot, actually. It's not there yet, but that is better, so maybe I do just need to expand the top here. That'd be nice if that's all I had to do. Not quite sure what to do with that little black part coming out there. Okay. Yeah, I do feel like this is getting closer. I'll take it. Maybe this won't be as hard as I thought it was going to be. That'd be nice. It's nice when art works out. And I'm prepared to just mull over things for a while, and then it's just like, oh, nope, that's all you had to do. It's like, nice. Okay. Gonna turn that underneath piece back on now and see how it all looks together. Not bad at all. I'll have a few things to fix, but that's much better than it was a few minutes ago. So that's cool. Good, I was worried that would be a lot harder. Okay, so now I'm looking at this light portion right here. I feel like it's changing shape in kind of a weird way. I think to an extent that's what is going to have to, just because the head is turning. But I think I can do a little bit better than what it's looking like right now. Yeah, pretty much like that. Perfect. That's basically exactly what I was picturing. Excellent. Okay. Oh, let's take a look at some of these other spots. So far, I think these red spots are doing okay. I was just taking a quick look at them. Just moving this little parameter back and forth. And okay, so now I think I can afford to take a look over here. This line right there, because I feel like it's kind of squeezing. I think it only needs very, very slight movements, so I'm trying to be very careful through there. And I'm not minding the gap here, because I know where that gets filled in. I just have the layer turned off for the moment. Just turning on all these layers one by one. It's okay, they'll all be on eventually. Guess that was a little bit too much. Thought that movement was pretty delicate, but not quite delicate enough, I guess. It happens. So I'll just be extra careful when I start moving it back. feel like there's some weirdness around that red spot right there. And that might be what I'm seeing in some of this, because I feel like this line is moving okay. Like, I think there's, we'll probably need to tweak it a little bit more. But there's something else bothering me, so... I don't know. I'm kind of limited in how I can move that with how I did the mesh. I don't think it looks that bad, fortunately. Okay. Gonna do some slow movements to try and understand what I'm looking at here. And I'll speed it up again. No, I think that's alright. Okay, maybe all I'm seeing is this and this just need to be a little bit further to the left. Yep, that was all I was seeing. Perfect. Okay. And then a little bit right through here. Very, very tiny movements. I don't want to... I don't want to mess with things too much. I definitely want to be careful around moving that part. Very, very careful. I think it took a little while to get it exactly where I wanted it, but there was something that was just a little bit off and I wanted to try to fix it. And now I think it's actually pretty good. Only the tiniest bit of twitching, and I don't think that'll be at all noticeable when I zoom out. Okay, so I want to look at this highlight a little bit, because I can see that this lower part is kind of stretching out. Now let's pull it back up a little. And straighten out the triangles. So I can see it kind of crunching a little bit. That might be this bang, to be fair, but it'll be hard to tell which layer things are on. And actually that's bothering me, so I'm going to try to fix that. I don't actually know what layer it's on, though. What layer is it on? Still kind of unclear. It might even be this one. Okay, no, that makes it much more clear, actually. It is this one. Let's see how it's just kind of being really warped through here. I just kind of want to fix that up. Make it look a little bit nicer around the edge. Easy enough to do with this mesh setup. This kind of mesh is largely for keeping the edges nice. Everything else kind of is able to slide around a little bit easier. Okay. Didn't completely fix the crunchies, but it got rid of most of them. Okay, highlight is mostly fine now. Still a little few spots I want to tweak, but it's much better than it was. So let's take a look at some of those other spots. Something like this, maybe. I don't think it's looking super distorted. Yeah, it's about the same shape as it was before. Okay. So I think I have them roughly in the right spot, which means I can start getting the thickness of all this and pulling everything exactly where it needs to go. Kind of all set up. I was noticing that it was just almost rotating a little bit. And I'll still need to adjust that, but I was looking at this long part of the highlight here. And it's doing much better. Okay, looks like things got pulled up a little bit, so I'll go ahead and pull them back down just a tiny bit. Don't want to do it too much because that'll affect that highlight I just fixed. But a little bit, so it doesn't look like it's shifting weirdly when it moves. Okay, and right over here is still looking like it's moving upward. We'll shift downward just a little bit. With just the tiniest little movements. Just the tiniest little movements. Okay, looks like some parts got brought a little bit too far down. So I'll go bring them a little bit further up again. As I can see that these parts are starting to move down. Okay, what am I seeing here? Let me take a moment to do some very intense staring again, because it's like I can kind of tell what I'm seeing. I just need a second to think about how to fix that. And to really take in what my eyes perceive. Okay, so I think it's just like... Just need to kind of pull this out a little bit. And over here probably a lot more, because this is kind of where it fans out, if I remember how things over here are. Yeah. Bring the poofiness back. Maybe not that much, but yes. Idea is sound. I just did a little bit too hard. Definitely sounds like me. I don't know. Let's take another look. Oh, that's actually doing a lot better. Okay. It's okay, that just means I was doing it right. Even though I don't know what I'm doing, I'm apparently doing okay. That sounds like life in a nutshell. That was way more than I wanted to admit. Okay. Tiny movements. Kind of feels like it's coming forward there still. So I'm just trying to be very careful. Okay, now it looks like it's shifting upwards a little bit, which might be the cause of some of the problems I'm having. That's okay, I'll just keep pulling on it until it all comes together. And it's getting really close, I think. Really close indeed. I'm sure there's a bunch of stuff I have to fix further down, but doing the part. Doing her hair part today. I do think that the rest will come a lot easier once I get that hair part figured out. It's definitely the most detailed and scariest part of her hair. So, but it'll also serve as the best anchor to let me adjust everything else around. Because once I get this to where it's not sliding, I pretty much know where the rest of the hair is going to have to go. And then just think, once I finish this part of the hair, I have to do it on the other side too. I'm going to be doing hair for all eternity. Just how it is when you do stuff with an anime style. And all the hair that they always have. But yeah, I think that's actually okay. So now I'm looking over here. It's like this area is high enough up that as I start working on everything else, I'm gonna see it a lot and it'll bother me if I don't get it floofing out just right. So I'm gonna take a look at it while I'm over here. Just gonna take a look. And I'm not gonna worry about it being too crunchy for the time being. I think it's weird because I'm not sure if that's right. Like, to an extent, I know it's going to have to curve back around here. Just a matter of finding that balance of how it poofs out like this versus how it should be tucked around her hair, or her head. Yes, the hair tucking around the hair. I mean, to be fair, she has enough hair that the hair does actually do that, but that was not what I was trying to say. Anyway, I'm just got to do some experimenting. That's all there is to it. I think up here looks okay. I'm probably have to do some fine adjustments. So I think I'm at least doing things right there. I think this clump looks good, which does mean that this strand should be doing something like what it is. So I think that's mostly correct. I probably just have to do some fine adjustments there. Which means that the last spot I really have to look is here, where it's all floofy in the front version. You see, it's so floofy. Just so much poof to it. And I got rid of most of that poof, so let's see about putting some of it back at least. Embrace the poofiness. I cannot fear the poofiness, even if it seems weird in perspective. Yeah, that's already making a considerable difference, honestly. Like, I'm still just fairly lightly pushing things around. And not really worrying about the details, but man, even that much. Yeah, it's what I had to do. I just tried to push it back too hard, trying to care a little bit too hard about perspective. Like, it's anime. Perspective is a small portion of the battle. The biggest portion is style. Gotta be cool. Okay. I'm just gonna smooth some of this out a little bit. Just make it a little bit less crunchy. You can see the lines expanded hugely. So I'm gonna go put some of those triangles back into place. And I may not do the entire strand right now. I mostly care about what's going on up there. But I do want it to kinda, I don't know, not look terrible. It can look mid until I fix it. Okay, so I think... oh man, my throat today, just all phlegmy. But okay, I think I got it looking passable. Yeah, there's some spots that I'm gonna have to fix, but it's not gonna like drive me insane every time I zoom out and look over here. So that's good enough for the time being. But yeah, I think I fixed a large portion of the problem with how things were looking over there, so now I can kinda correct around the highlights here and the shadows over there. And that should fix everything I see around the part. Let's see if we can get that looking nice. Just nice and smoothed out. I decided not to do a detailed mesh for this one, which may have been a mistake. We'll see if I have to redo it, but for the time being, I think this is actually okay. Just mostly have to get things into the right place. Okay, and I think for this highlight, I just need to expand in this area a little bit further this way. Just a little. Nothing too drastic. Right now it looks like it's rotating a bit, which means I think some vertices got pulled upwards. That would make sense with how much random movement I was doing, so let's try to pull this side down a little bit. See if that helps it out. Helped that part out, but this part is now being pulled down a little bit too hard. So I'll have to pull the ones this direction a little bit higher. That is totally doable, though. Okay, that's probably good enough for now. Like, I can see there's a lot of shenanigans happening down there, but I don't think I care that much about going about that spot right now. So, I think almost ready to start adding another layer in. I just kind of got to smooth things out here, and that little light at the top got moved around in all the chaos, but I can fix it. I know we just got a little bit of distortion around here, so I'm gonna go clean it up just a little bit. Cleaned up a lot of the distortion lower down, but I hadn't quite gone back up to up here yet. That's okay. One thing at a time. Still feels like I need to pull that spot out a little bit more. I'll just send it up. Send it on up here. Pull this out. Make it round. The circles are great shapes. Okay, I'm not sure. I'm not so sure. Let's try again. Just want to tweak this part, because this is probably what's going to define where the hair above it goes. So I really want to make sure that this part is looking really good. So while I don't think that the way this little highlight on the top here twitching is going to really change how the model looks in the grand scheme of things, I do think it'll help me figure out where to put later clumps of hair. So that's why I'm being particular about it. But I think that solved the issue, so. Sometimes things are there to actually finish the model, and sometimes they're there to just allow for future decisions to be made. I am noticing... Okay, I was having to think about words there and I lost my train of thought with the model itself. Okay, that may not be something I can fix. I was just noticing that this dark area is twitching a little bit. I'm trying to see if I need to send some vertices down. Looks like I probably should a little bit. So it looks like they're kind of shifting upward. Something like that a little bit better. Yes. Something like that is indeed a little bit better. I think I'll leave it there for now. We'll see if it ends up bothering me later, but I think this is fine for the time being. So now I think the next is going to be this one. Or is it going to be... Where is that one? Here behind... Am I missing a strand somewhere? Because yeah, all of these are just little strands. There's that. I thought this was gonna be like the last one. Behind, loop, loop. Okay, well, I'll worry about it in a little bit. Because I remember that this is one of the ones that got really distorted. So we're gonna have a lot to do. What was your name? Here behind upper right. I think I might just restart this one. Behind upper right. Okay. Oh, I actually hadn't made that many changes to it. Well, that's fine. We can just start from here. Okay. Time to see what's very, very wrong. Yeah, it's shifting way hard to the left. I mean, look at that. Whoop, 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 whoop. Just looks so funny. Okay. Before I do that, since I'm going to be doing big movement here, where exactly do you line up? Kind of where the black part starts. And... you're... yeah, kind of at the peak of this strand. Okay. Gonna do some big ol' movements now. Have some fun where I don't have to worry. Now we gotta go hard in that. Let's go. We're just going in. We're going in hard. Okay, let's start with something like this. This is still going to be way off, but one thing at a time. I gotta start with the big picture before I start getting all these tiny details that I've been doing with a lot of these strands. You can see as I work, the brush just gets smaller and smaller. I think this is true of drawing too, where you start with the big picture and then you start worrying about the tiny, tiny details. So if you start worrying about those tiny, tiny details first, you're gonna have a bad time. And they'll probably be wrong. Not worried about how kind of wrinkly it looks for the time being, just trying to get everything in the right place. Because I can smooth everything out after that. Okay. Yeah, we're getting somewhere. It actually went by pretty fast, as paying attention to the big picture generally does. So now I can start paying attention to things like perspective and how things will be moving around as her head turns and all of that good stuff. I think I pushed that top part a little bit too far. Let's pull him back. Something like that. Yeah. Like, obviously everything is still kind of pulsing a bit. There's still a lot of stuff that has to get into the right place, but night and day difference from how it was when I first got started. Alright, I think I'm actually going to take a break from that spot, and I want to go back and start adding some of the various loose strands. But before I can do that, I have to make sure that those parts that have loose strands are in the right place. So the big one that has a loose strand is this one. And actually, I think I'm at the point where I can turn the head back on. Let's let her have a face. Skin is back. Okay, I do feel like, at least up here, the strand is in the right place. What about down here? Like, down here looks pretty wrong in several ways. Wrong enough that I'm actually tempted to use the path deform tool instead of the brush. Which one is this? This one. Let's see if a big brush does what I want it to do. Yes, actually. That probably is a little bit easier than the path deform. Okay. So the spot I'm looking at is right here. I'm not at all worried about these other little strands coming off, just right here. If I can get that into place, then the other strands will kind of work themselves out. But man, are they hard to ignore. No wonder I haven't wanted to work on that. I just go up to the spot that I was working on before just because it'd be so much easier. I'm doing a bit of tiny movement here. Just because it's almost in the right place, but not quite. I'm trying to get the shape right, and you can see it's curling out quite a lot. This is actually fairly straight. So let's make that spot fairly straight. Very, very carefully. Very, very carefully make it straight. I don't know, man. I can tell that I just need to move it around quite a lot. I think I moved it too far to the left. I just need to very, very carefully. Maybe I should even... Oh, but if I select vertices, it's going to cause me problems later, so... Let's keep using the brush. Probably gonna have to select vertices to deal with these little strands coming off, because I do want them to floof out a little bit more. But right now I am entirely focused on this. Because where they will need to go will become increasingly clear once I have that spot right. It's just... I kind of wish I separated these, honestly. I just didn't interpret them as a separate strand when I was drawing. Okay, I feel like I've made decent progress there, so I'm gonna go back up here. I just changed my... keep changing my mind, but that's okay. I need to do all these parts eventually. Up here is honestly looking pretty alright. I just needed to look away from the part for a while to recalibrate my eyes. It's like when you stare at something long enough, you just kind of lose all sense of what's happening. Alright. It's okay. Sometimes. Someday, I'll remember what layer I'm working on. That day is apparently not today. I'm gonna try to get where it's connected going. That's why I was very particular with how all of this worked out, because I knew I was gonna be using it to connect another piece of hair up here. And now you can see where all that work is paying off, because now I understand. I can see. Alright, let's start putting this squirmer back into place. Okay, that was too much. Should have seen that coming. Okay, we're getting somewhere. Let's see. How exactly should this all go? The question I'm trying to answer here. And I guess the inevitable question with rigging anything is, how should this move? Where does it all need to go? Where is its proper place in this little world that I'm making here? Well, right now it seems like its proper place is being more floofy. Which, you know... Isn't that the story of doing hair like this? Be floofier. That's the answer. Okay. I think I have things mostly in the right place here. I'm just gonna kind of straighten things out a bit. Because they got a bit distorted in all my movement. You don't want distortion in your work here. It's like, that's always a bad omen in, like, any story. You know, if they call something a distortion, it's pretty much always bad. I'm gonna touch that just a little bit. Alright. Let's take a look. Yeah, it's getting there. Slowly but surely, it's getting there. Okay, I need to make it floofier. This, not floofy enough. The hair demands more floof. Make the floof, straighten the floof. A two-step process. Okay. Is this sufficient? Yes, I just need to adjust the lines. But I think this is sufficient floof. That said, I do think I want to push this top part a little bit further to the right. I'm more keeping forward proportions here, and I think it needs to go out. Let me actually zoom all the way out here. That'll give me better perspective. Like, I know I just moved it, so it's gonna look strange for a little bit. But think it needs a little bit more. Just for perspective purposes. Not too much, just a little bit. Something like that. Not too much. No, this seems about right. Yeah, and it's following the shape out here. I think this is right. Okay, cool. Now I can just go back in and start making everything look good. So first, this little strand here lost much of its thickness, so I'm going to try to bring it back. Let's make it a little thicker through there. It's a little messy, but that looks much better. Okay. Worry about getting everything down first. Then I'll make it less messy afterwards. And this line got thin, so I'm going to adjust it by pulling things out a little bit more here. Let's see, is that thick enough or do I need more? A little bit more at the top, but otherwise okay. So I think I have to pull a little bit from that direction in order to get that to look right. Something like that. Yeah, okay, now I can just focus on making it look good. Let's do that before I do anything else. Get rid of some of the distortion around there and the crunchiness. I think that's good. Yeah, a little bit more down here because I don't think... Oh no, it actually was like that. Never mind. That's not distortion, that's just how it looks. There's just shadow there. That's cool. Okay, so which part should I work on next? I think I want to tuck a little spot right over here in just a tiny, tiny bit. Pull this out just a tiny, tiny bit. There we go. Yeah. Just like that. Alright, I'm gonna go take a look at everything, look around at everything else. Brain starting to get a little bit tired again. Let's pick something easy. Let's take a look over here. I've been meaning to kind of finish out this area. It does actually look like it's mostly correct at this point. I just got some shifting downward there. That should actually be pretty easy to correct. Is that this one? Yeah, cool. Look, I remembered the layer. It's okay, if I remember what the layers are, that'll make doing the right side much easier. And later, up and down. I'm gonna have to make her bald for a little while again once I start doing up and down. But I just felt like a lot of what defines up and down is the hair moving, so I decided I wanted to do the hair before I did too much with her face. Let's see. I do see a little bit of sliding around here. So time to do some intense staring to try to get a feel for what's causing that. Let's stare. Looks like it just needs to go a little bit higher. Not too much, though. I'll just get a teeny tiny brush. Do something like that. Yes, but also no. The rest I think I just have to do one vertex at a time. But I can handle that. Yes, I can. I have done so many little adjustments like this that it's really not that big a deal. Something like that, maybe? Okay, up there still a little bit too high? Or is it low? Low. I made it a little bit too low. Let's see here. What is going on? I think I need to do some floofing. Make it rounder. It's okay. I always like being able to make things a little bit rounder. Circles are great. Everyone should appreciate them more. Okay. This part kind of goes more into the back here. Yeah. Something like this, maybe? I've got a little thing I have to fix there, but I want to see if this is moving right. Okay, and I think I want this highlight to be a little bit bigger. Black, a little bit lower. I'm mostly basing my decisions on where this black part is. And indeed, that's probably what's causing a little bit of this distortion through here. Of just it being in slightly the wrong place. So I'll probably have a better idea on whether or not it's correct, based on whether or not this line looks good. So I should definitely not say that I'll just fix it later, because if I have to fix it later, I probably have the black area in the wrong place. That's a very good clue. It also means that I won't be leaving things crunchy, which is nice in its own right. Still doesn't feel like it's right. It's too bad. I was kind of hoping to be able to get this little hair strand in there soon. I am just struggling to get all this into the right place. And I think I see the problem. It's okay, that's the hazard of trying to do something new at the end of the session. And it's okay. I knew that I was kind of venturing into this area because my brain was getting kind of tired. But yeah, it's looking like I'm not going to be able to make any progress here. I'm just not liking anything that I'm doing. So let's go back up here for the end. See if I can't get something going up here again. I don't want to stop just yet. Figure I should at least go for the couple more minutes. Getting there. I think I need to adjust over here before I can see exactly how it connects here. Let's do that. Who controls this? I don't know. Not sure if it's that. It might be that. It might be that. I will find out. Let's take a look here. So I can see how the mesh moves. While I turn, if I have it selected like that. Will something like that work, or will it look weird? That definitely looks weird. Okay. Oh, nope, that one. That definitely looks weird. It's okay. I'll gradually start getting things to where they need to be going. One step at a time. Okay, we've got a big distortion over there still, so let's take a quick look at that. Alright, that's doing a little bit better. Let's go ahead and turn on the other back hair here. I don't think I can handle details right now. Hair behind. Here we are. Here we are. I swear there's supposed to be another strand there. Does that side really just floof out that much more? I guess it might. The rest of these do appear to just be strands. Let me check real quick just to make sure I'm not being silly. No, that side really is just so much floofier. Okay. I didn't accidentally miss a layer. Good, I'm glad. That would have been very sad. Oh, and it looks like that. Let me just take another look here. Okay, I see what happened. The layer order is wrong. This should be going behind. That makes way more sense. Okay, so what layer are you? Not you. No, yes you. 84. So that means this should be 85. Okay, that looks much better. Okay, so I'll do some big changes to this strand over here. It's like, man, with this, I have all the main layers turned on now. The only thing I'm missing are all the little tiny strands that I have coming off. I added in so I could do some nice perspective shenanigans. Okay. Although it looks like I've already done a lot of the big motions. There's a couple of big ones that I can still do, though. Let's see, I'm just pushing myself just a little bit. Just to try to get a little bit more done. Just some things that I can handle right now without driving myself too crazy. Okay, and then... yeah, here. I feel like I'm pulling this out just a little bit too much right through here. For once, we are lessening the floof. It feels odd. With as much time as I've been expanding the floof and making things floofier. Found a place where I actually did a little bit too much. Okay, yeah, that angle's a little bit better. Need just a little bit more down here, I think. As you can see here, it follows this strand pretty closely. And I think I should keep that kind of movement. So let's try that and see if I can make that look good. And if I can't, then maybe it's a sign that I need to move the other strand a little bit. Try to make it a little bit less crunchy. Pull this in a little bit. There we go. Just straighten things out here. I know I'm going to be moving a lot of this stuff down there a lot still, so I'm not going to worry about that yet. This strand, though, this little highlight, looking much better. I just got to correct some of the stuff around it. I think that's perfect. Okay, and I do think I will stop it there today. I don't know. Let's open our eyes again. Just looking at the area that I was just working on. There we go. So, thank you all for coming. If you'd like me to take a look at your own creative projects, whether that be art, writing, coding, game design, any creative pursuits you can think of, feel free to message or at me on Twitter or Instagram and I'll take a look and maybe leave some comments. I'll see you all tomorrow. Goodbye.